All right, welcome back to the Boys 161st Street, episode 160. 161 is up next. Still have no idea what we're going to do it. We're just going to handle it like we handle everything on the show. Very much improv, and we'll figure out something on the fly. But Yankees played a series against a team from Los Angeles that is not the Dodgers, so it's not really a good thing to only take 1 out of 3. So it was against a team, Mike Troutless Angels. Shohei Ohtani stole home. Not a lot to love about this, but, Garrett Cole shoved, and he did exactly what we paid him a lot of money to do. We paid him to be the stopper. We were in a 4-game losing streak, and Garrett Cole is able to just nut up and just absolutely shut down the Angels, and that's exactly what you paid him for. So he did his job, and if he did anything less than what he did, I'd be upset. So that's what we expect out of him. It wasn't the prettiest baseball, but it was baseball, so we're going to talk about that baseball. And, it could be worse. Could be watching soccer. So it was at least baseball. So
yeah, could be worse.
Today you got Luke Chandler and Damon Murph is pouring beers to homeless people in the Great North. So how are we doing, fellas? Are we dry? A lot. It's been pretty wet. I hope everybody's safe. If you're in the New York area, we're in the city. We are safe. I know a lot of you are worried. The subways are all shut down. Before I ask how you guys are doing, are we gonna play baseball tomorrow? Because I have tickets for the game, and I got some pictures and videos. One was a drone footage of the Somerset Patriots. Not a geography whiz, but
no, they're. I can't see them
where is
playing
Somerset?
for a little while.
Somerset's in New Jersey.
Okay, so makes sense. Sense.
The water was up to the outfield.
I'm a little worried about the Yankees game tomorrow. I'm really excited. I'm getting out of work early.
Wait, did you see that picture of the outfield?
Yeah.
It didn't look as bad. I mean, I'm comparing to the Somerset Patriots. That's why it didn't look
Somerset was
as bad.
up to the top of the fence.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
why.
I think Yankee Stadium will be fine. I think they have like a filtration system. I'm assuming that's
Science.
Good science and stuff.
I hope. I'm really excited for the game tomorrow. Who's pitching tomorrow? Nestor. I hope it's a nasty Nestor day.
It is a nasty Nestor day, so guaranteed W.
I've never watched a no-hitter live before, so
there you go.
So that'll be exciting.
Hey, he's extended past 100 pitches. He's not a big strikeout guy. That's all I'm saying. Maybe a couple 1, 2, 3.
I kind of hope they just leave the water just like deep out in the outfield.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
And then let Nestor throw from center field because it's too easy for him to throw from the mound.
That's smart.
It's
like the old.
It's the Orioles. You gotta level the playing field.
You've heard like the king in his court or whatever, the softball guy. I think his name's like Eddie Feiner or some shit. It was like him and 2 other guys, and he would just pitch from all over the field and strike everybody out. That's Nestor Cortez.
He didn't have the best start last time, but we're not going to talk about that. So Nestor Cortez, he's going to bounce right back because we're playing the Orioles. Is it a 4-gamer or is it a 3-gamer? I really hope it's a 4.
I think it's 3.
I'm gonna double check right now.
I feel like we've had a lot of 4-game series
sure
recently.
3.
Is that
I'm almost 100% sure.
accurate?
Yep, 3 and then 4 against Toronto.
Okay, Toronto's been free falling.
Confirmed.
I don't know if they've turned it around in the last week or so, but before that they were free falling.
they're not doing great. They're
Okay.
they're 13.5 games back in the division and 4.5 in the wild card.
Damn it, if you could put a number on it tomorrow of the chances that we play, what would you put it at? I trust your opinion.
I think it's 90%.
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
How are they not going? It's not going to rain, right? And they can.
It's not gonna rain.
It's like really
Dude, they've
wet.
dealt with a flooded field in like 2 hours and got everybody back out there.
I'd be very shocked if they didn't play. Very, very, very shocked. They're probably still working on it right now. Like they're probably filtering.
I assume they're working on it.
You know.
All right, so we got a loaded show for you today. Yankees haven't been playing their best baseball, but when you boil it down and you look at the last 15, 20, whatever it was, I mean, it's still a fantastic run. So 4-game losing streak, whatever. Who cares? It's not against the best opponent in the Angels, but the Angels can win games. They're a 500 team, so it's baseball. It happens. We won 13 in a row, so you can't really complain all that much.
I think it's blown out of proportion because the Rays just keep fucking winning.
Yeah,
They lost tonight, so
I did read an interesting.
They won 9 straight before that, though.
it's true.
Yeah, I was reading an interesting article the other day about essentially, I don't know what the title was, but essentially it was like teams that are not in the playoffs that can fuck up playoff teams' chances, like something along those lines. So teams like the Angels, or like what are the main teams that you don't want to play down the
spoilers.
stretch? Yeah,
I
teams
saw
are gonna.
that.
I don't know what the article was,
that.
what the title was, but essentially like, what are the teams that are not in the playoffs or not in the playoff run that you don't want to face down the stretch because they could fucking beat you? And the Angels were the first on that list.
Angels, I would maybe like the Royals.
It was the Angels, the Royals were up
Wait,
there.
don't say. I want to keep guessing.
I forget the rest of them.
Okay, cool. So,
Sorry.
I mean, the Mets aren't currently in the playoff picture, so you could put that in that mix because they are technically a good team, but the Mets are trash. Yeah, I feel like that's it because I would say the Cubs, but like the Cubs sold everybody.
Yeah.
So,
But
all
yeah,
right.
but I forgot what it was. But yeah, some
That is
along
interesting.
those lines. Yeah, but Angels will be top of that list, and it's true. I mean, they can come out there and win a game.
yeah.
With
So
that
that's
being
why-
said, though, we should have won the series.
Yeah, but
There's
that's
no-
we're not going to overreact to that. It's
No.
4 games, and when you, like I said, when you extrapolate it to the last 25, it's like we're 19 and like 7 and whatever the fuck it was. So
Yeah.
Yankees are still good. Garrett Cole, and honestly, I want to put more attention to that. We've talked a lot about Garrett Cole being the MVP. I think he's absolutely separating himself.
Cy
We
Young.
talked about say Cy Young, not MVP. He's absolutely separating himself from Lance Lynn. He overtook Lance Lynn when we had the more extended conversation last episode or the episode before. So we're not going to get too deeply into it. But I just want to place a lot of emphasis on how important that was that he was able to be the stopper. A little bit, it doesn't carry as much weight as I think it would have in terms of like swinging the momentum back in our favor if we didn't have an off day today. I feel like the off day kind of hurt us
Yeah.
because when you have a stopper like that, you can just ride that momentum and just go and start cruising. Granted, we are playing the Orioles next, so I don't really think we'll need that much momentum. I mean, this team should
better
not
knock on
lose a
wood.
single game.
Yeah, I don't want to.
But there's no. We talked about the Angels and that being an okay thing. They're a big spoiler team. They have some talent there, like David Fletcher, Ohtani, yada yada yada. If we cannot lose a single game to the Orioles, especially if we think that we still have a chance in the AL East, which I'm starting to think is not really the case. I mean, we went on a 13-game win streak, and we still are how many out right now?
6.5.
6.5.
I really think they're gonna keep winning. I think we're gonna keep winning too, but
We actually play our schedule's like the third easiest coming down the stretch.
is.
Yeah, it
The
is.
thing that's going to be the difference, though, is we got 4 against the Blue Jays now, like next week, and then to close out the season, we go 3 Blue Jays, 3 Rays, 3 Red Sox, or some order of that. I know the Rays
we
are
don't
the
play
last
the
one,
Rays
but
until the last series.
exactly. So I think it goes Blue Jays, Red Sox, Rays to close out the season, which is pretty fucking tough. But on that Garrett Cole thing, real quick, people are talking about how close this Cy Young is and how Robbie Ray's probably got the nod. Like Robbie Ray is leading. There was a graphic I saw the other day. There's out of 14 categories, Robbie Ray's leading in 2 over Garrett Cole, and it's innings pitched by 4, and Garrett Cole missed 2 starts. In ERA, which he's leading by 0.02. So
Yeah.
I don't really think it's as close as people think. I think if he just keeps up even remotely what he's doing, he has to. He has to win it. He has to. It'd be a
And,
disgrace.
I mean, they look more into the sabermetrics nowadays too. So ERA
Exactly.
is great. You can win an ERA title, but like they
But
look
it's
more
also,
at, they
like-
look more at FIP. They look more at the strikeouts. He's having a ton of strikeouts. He just
Leads
had
MLB.
15. He had
He
15
leads MLB
the
in
other night.
strikeouts. That's what I'm saying. Even in face value stats like ERA, wins, WHIP, all of that, he leads the American League in WHIP. He is second in the American League in ERA. He leads the entire Major League Baseball in strikeouts. Even his
Yeah.
face value stats are fucking incredible. So I think he wins it even if they don't look at the sabermetrics.
Yeah,
But
I mean, he's been like, I mean, since the All-Star break, what he have like? What was it, like a?
he has a
0.77
0.72 ERA
Yeah,
since his
which is
COVID.
nuts. So no, since the COVID. Sorry, not the All-Star.
Yeah.
Can we give him spider tack now? Now that like he's proven, I feel like now he's proven that he doesn't need it. There are some people in this league, not going to mention names, Chapman, that haven't proven that they can pitch without spider tack. Garrett Cole's done that. So now like I feel like if you prove that you don't need it, then you like get awarded it back. You like because you at least prove you didn't fully depend on it to be good. If you're truly good, now you can unlock spider tag. It's like
Yeah, make
it's
the-
like it's
the
like a
rich richer.
game.
Make the rich richer.
It's like a
and the poor
game.
poorer.
You have to
Genuine
be
question.
good. Like no Orioles pitcher, maybe John Means, but like all of the bad pitchers would be so bad. Like that'd be funny if you have to have a certain amount of strikeouts to unlock Spider Tack, and then the rich get richer, like Damon said. That's how I
Genuine
would rather
question.
live.
Do you think he
Levels.
found something new?
Did
He
what?
didn't walk us. Do you think he found something new? Like honestly, last night he
Well, he
threw
had
a knuckle
COVID. Maybe
curve.
he's just doing like spitballs and mucus balls now.
Dude, he threw a ball yesterday. It was like a knuckle curve that dropped like 40 inches and dotted the fucking outside corner black perfect. And he didn't walk a person and threw 120 something pitches.
Also, maybe I'm just oblivious, but remember he said that he's two things. The reporter, I don't know her name, and I don't want to slander a person's job, but I don't know how you get that job. I this is not a
The
new
Ohtani
thing.
question.
Like these questions that are, that's just like, come on. I get
It
old
was
media
Margaret,
is
it was Margaret
bad,
something.
but like,
His
what
response
the
was
fuck
perfect,
are
though.
these questions? We've heard some bad questions in our time. I don't think this is the worst I've heard. I've heard some really bad ones.
You know what that was?
There's this
that
one
was
guy
just
with
like
a nasally voice that I remember. I forget his question a while back, but she asked Garrett Cole, "What pitch are you not gonna throw Ohtani?" And Cole handled it great. He said like, he doesn't need any more excuses. I'm not gonna throw him a knuckleball. He doesn't. And maybe I'm just oblivious. I thought he was like saying I'm not gonna throw him the knuckle curve, but he doesn't throw a knuckleball. I'm just an idiot. I didn't really read into it, but. Then he immediately throws a knuckle curve the first pitch. Maybe that was a mind game. I don't know. In that moment, I was kind of looking to see if Ohtani would smirk because he probably definitely saw that interview.
I don't know.
Like, you said you weren't going to throw a knuckleball and you threw a knuckle curve first pitch.
I don't know. I don't know if you saw that.
That's
I think
nothing.
that just felt like a forced question about Ohtani. I think that's all.
It's
it was.
literally just to draw like attention because
Yeah.
Otani's the biggest name in sports. What else are you gonna ask a Yankees player about Otani? Like,
Look,
whoa,
Cole
if
struck him
Otani
out
hits
3
a home
times,
run against
so.
you, like, how much are you gonna awe at it, Garrett? Like, yeah, fuck you, Margaret.
They're almost making me less excited about what Otani's doing because they talk so much. It's almost like,
It's
how
overkill.
Sports Center and like always sucked off LeBron back in the day. They still kind of do.
Always.
But
Back
like,
in the day,
they still kind of do, I'm saying. But like back in the day, they would, in like a couple years ago, they would only play LeBron stats, LeBron things in the top 10. And they just, everybody asks like, at the All-Star game, they're always like, what's it like to share an outfield with Ohtani? It's like, what does that even
Probably
mean?
like
He's
any
a
other
fucking
player.
human being.
That was,
He
the,
does
that
the
was
same
actually
shit.
that was probably the only question that I heard. Honestly.
Yeah. Every single person they were at, all of the players probably like huddled around together after in the locker room, like, dude, I play baseball at a very good level too. Like this guy,
I'm also an all-star.
we have better resumes than him. Yes, he's having a great year right now, but like he could very well not be healthy next year, and we just kind of we have this one awesome season in the history books, and that's
mean,
so
I-
awesome.
yeah.
And
The
I
thing
love
is,
that,
too-
and I'm not discrediting it because it's so cool what he's doing. I just think these people are starting to piss me off, and it's literally I'm taking it out on Ohtani and what he's accomplished because they're annoying me so much.
no,
That
it's
makes
not just Otani. It's like last year with Tatis. I love Tatis. He's one of my favorite people to watch in the game. But last year, every time he caught like a fucking routine fly ball, they're like, "Oh my God, Fernando!"
Well, that's just the announcer. The
Well,
announcer.
the announcer's awesome, but I'm
I
talking even
love him.
ESPN. Oh no, he's absolutely electric. But even the fucking ESPN guys are. It seems like a reoccurring theme here. But
Yeah.
but either way, any of the major like media outlets would be like, "Oh my God, did you see Tatis out there today? He's absolutely
I mean-
electric." He was like 0 for 4 with 4 Ks, but my God, the way he ran the bases on his one walk. Every time MLB, they're so desperate for attention just because they're so bad at publicizing themselves and like marketing that every time they find a star, they just way overplay it.
Yeah, I mean, I think every single home run Tatis hit this year is on the MLB Instagram page.
Unrelated, that and I swear we'll talk about more Yankees stuff in a second, but like that, there was a video that I saw about the Padres announcer, and it was like, how does he do it? And it was like a routine ground
I
ball.
saw that.
Somebody took a different, like the Jordan catch that he made or something
Yeah,
crazy, and they took that commentary and put it onto like a routine ground
Yeah,
ball.
no, I saw it was like two of
like
them.
a
It was
line
like a
drive it right at him.
yeah, there's like a pop up in the infield. It's like another one for Fernando. Like,
Oh my God, how does he do it? All right, let's talk about the Yankees a little bit. Do you guys want to get into rounding third now, or do you want to just no? Let's talk a little bit about Kluber right now, because Kluber, we previewed him a little bit a few episodes ago, asking the question, are they rushing him back? And that was based on the premise that like his numbers in the minors weren't great. He didn't really look like he had control. It wasn't like a feeling. We didn't have a vibe in Yankee land of like, oh, thank God Kluber's coming back because his numbers were so bad. I mean, I still love that Kluber's coming back. I just was worried that they're rushing it. But again, to play devil's advocate, and you guys were speaking to this more, it is September and pumpkin spice lattes are out. Playoff baseball's around the corner. So you need to give him reps. I haven't gotten a pumpkin spice latte yet.
It's crazy how quickly they fucking turn that shit around.
What?
I just thought about that today. Like, literally, sorry, so unrelated, but
it's related.
Walking down the street today, like yesterday, I saw no pumpkin things. Today, walking down the street,
signs everywhere.
Everything.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Like guilty here. Absolute
I'm
pumpkin
more
whore.
impressed. I'm more impressed how they just overnight they changed all the posters.
Yeah.
They changed all the menus just overnight. I'm astonished. I haven't got anything yet though. Pumpkin beer everywhere.
Oh,
dude,
well,
shame on you for not having anything pumpkin yet. I even got my email from Starbucks today. I was like, "Welcome back, pumpkin." I was like, I'm sold.
So back on track. So that was the general vibe of the Kluber situation. So now when we look at what happened, he had a no-hitter through 4, and I will my friend Greg texted me, and I quote here. He says, "Is Kluber back? I'm afraid to say it," because he had a no-hitter through 4. Immediately after that, or shortly after that, Kluber gives up a grand slam. That is all on my friend Greg, so go ahead and don't blame us. But his final line, 4 innings pitched, 5 runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks, gave up that grand slam. Some people are saying that Boone left him in too long. I don't really know if that's the case. I think Damon was one of those people. I'm not really more fixated on that. I'm happy. I'm not as worried. Like when you look at just that stat line, 5 runs, it looks awful. And yes, you can't completely write off the grand slam. Like, oh, it's just a grand slam. Like he also got himself into trouble, allowed the bases to get loaded, and then did give up a home run. So like part of that 5 runs is still 5 runs. Like it's still 5 runs, no matter what way you write it. It's a little less bad, I guess, because it was a grand slam. It wasn't like a run every inning, or I don't know. He looked good for 4 innings, and maybe the wheels just fell off at the end because he's not built up yet. So that was good for me, at least, to see.
Yeah,
he made one bad pitch.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that.
But he also loaded the bases. That was what I was trying to say. Like, he didn't just make one bad pitch and it was 4 runs. He loaded the bases too. I just think the wheels fell off because he's not built up to it.
I think all in all, take that aside, because right now, I mean, every game matters when you're in a playoff hunt, everything like that. But right now, you're just trying to build him back up. Like you said, you're trying to get him major league innings, and he looked good. He was sharp, and the next step's going to be getting through that inning. And the next step after that is taking him another one and, battling through these situations. It's his first start in the majors since May. So, I mean, I get it. Obviously, it's not ideal. Had he gotten out of that, it would have looked awesome. We would have had 4 innings, 1 run, and cruised on our merry way. And everybody be like, oh my God, Kluber's back. Here he is. Like I said, that one pitch, if it goes anywhere else, if it lands 10 feet short, whatever the case may be, it's a whole different narrative. So I think he looked really good. He was hitting his spots well. He was dotting the corners with, nice 2 seams and shit like that. I think he looked really good. I have 0 complaints. I mean, other than the grand slam, but it is what it is. Still should have won that game.
Yeah, I was just going to say that I don't really think Boone didn't really leave him in too long. I never said that. I think, again, just
I said that.
Yeah, I just think that he ran out of gas, and I do think that coming back from the rehab, not being hurt, like, it's kind of a tricky situation because you want to leave him in there to kind of work through it. Also because he had a no-hitter through 4, so he was doing really well, and then just kind of like clearly he was getting tired and was not hitting his spots during that inning. So as a manager, you probably should see that and try and take him out. But on the flip side, he was pitching phenomenally, and like you kind of should leave him in there. So
I don't think he pulled him out early.
Yeah,
like
I
you
think
said,
it's
he had a
toss-up.
no hitter through 4.
yeah,
You're leaving him in. You're seeing how much you can get out of him, and then building off that next start. So he went 4 this
Yeah.
time. He had 6 Ks through 4. That's good.
I mean, it
Only
was a
2
great
walks
start.
when control was an issue for him. So next start, let's go 5. Start after that, 6. And then just keep building it up. And like that's a perfectly good timetable because we were talking about Cole potentially getting like how many 5 more starts or something.
yeah, something like that.
I think Kluber can get at least 3 more starts, at least.
I mean, if Cole's gonna get 5, Kluber's gonna get probably close to it. 4. They're not
Yeah.
gonna skip
Yeah.
a Kluber start. Not unless he's hurt. Not
Yeah,
now.
I'm just saying at this pace, at least even if he gets 3 more, you build him up 1 extra inning each every 5 days. He's right where he needs to be. He's at 7-8 innings. So I'm not worried about Kluber. I'm actually very happy because we were talking before about the Kluber Sevy situation and pretty much lumping them both into the same category in that kind of write them off and be happy if they give you anything. And Kluber is ahead of schedule. I'm going to knock on wood now again because it could easily go right back. He could get hurt and then, we're sad again.
Yep.
Now my hopes are back up and I'm ready to be hurt again. That's exactly what I'm trying to get at is, I wrote him off and now he's back. So my hopes are up.
Speaking of that game, real quick, and I know we beat a dead horse here. Why the fuck is Andrew Heaney on the Yankees? Why? Why? His very first batter, Shohei Ohtani, hit a ball to fucking Oakland. Get him off the Yankees. Leave him there. I don't care what you send him to Alcatraz. That's out off San Francisco, which I don't think is that close to LA. But
It's about 2.5 hours.
okay, get him on a bus at fucking San Fran. Ship him out to Alcatraz, and
It's
he
a
can be
deep
the
ball.
one. Huh?
That would be a deep ball.
That's about where he hit it. Put him on a little ferry, take him out to fucking Alcatraz. He could spend the rest of his days out there because he should be in fucking prison. He is terrible. Absolutely terrible. And the
Speaking
fact
of-
that he can't do it as a starter, why are you going to put him as a reliever when he's never done it? Terrible decision all around. I hate Andrew Heaney. Him
It
and
was
I
right
have
away too.
it was like first pitch, and Otani was like, "You really? This is what you're gonna throw at me? This fucking guy?"
This is your champion. Like you send this guy out. Are you
Yeah,
not entertained? Like it looked like the easiest thing in the world,
Dude,
and it
you
was the
just-
most obvious thing that was going to happen. Like, what did you expect? I don't
Exactly.
I would be
It's-
curious to see if there was a single Yankee fan in the world that didn't expect that to happen, or
There was one
I'll rephrase,
collective.
was confident in that scenario.
No, it's not even that. You're right. It was one big collective. Oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
When he took them out, and sure enough, he proved us dead right.
And if you didn't feel that way, if you felt some kind of even, I was going to say majority confident, but even if you felt like 20% confident, let us know because we need to block some people. So that it's just ridiculous. He's on the Sun, so I don't know why he's even allowed back to
He
Earth.
can't make the playoff roster, right? No way. No way. If he makes the
No.
playoff roster, like,
If he makes the playoff roster, then I can make the playoff roster.
don't discredit yourself. You
I-
can make the playoff roster anyway, Luke.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
Is
is he ever coming off the Sun?
Some home runs. What?
Is he ever coming off the Sun, Damon?
Right now, he
No.
has melted onto the sun. Like he is stuck to it. There's no.
He
no
he
getting
doesn't
out.
have enough opportunities to pitch this season to come off the Sun.
I almost feel bad because
I
he's no only because we keep running him out there, and I feel like he's starting to give Jay Bruce some run at the Sunmeister. Like I think
No.
Andrew Heaney could. I don't know why.
Unless-
I don't know why you
unless-
wrote that off so quick.
Because Jay Bruce literally retired.
Andrew Heaney. Andrew
he
Heaney.
literally retired a Yankee.
I'm not gonna write that off for Andrew Heaney yet. Andrew Heaney is literally the pitching version of Jay Bruce.
If Andrew Heaney retires,
That needs to be
or
clipped.
if he gets,
That needs to be
or
clipped.
if Andrew Heaney retires, or if he gets like DFA'd before the playoffs start, then he'll be Jay Bruce's co-Sunmeister.
Andrew
officially.
Heaney looks like he should run a really sketchy Italian restaurant that's not that good. They'll beat anybody's prices, but the food's like fucking rubber. That's what he looks like. Have you ever seen him just pout in the dugout with his stupid hair? Fuck
You
you,
got the
Heaney.
Peaky Blinder haircut.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
I didn't
not
notice
cool.
that. I
You
didn't
have to-
notice that until
To have the
I
Peaky
noticed
Blinder.
it.
Oh, to have the Peaky Blinder haircut, you have to be cool. There's just no in between there. He's not cool. He sucks. Boo.
No, he would be cool if he was good.
Yeah, well, he's not. He's the
Yeah.
total opposite of good, which is bad. And he's very fucking bad.
So one more thing before we get into rounding third on this game. Let's talk a little bit about the Ohtani stealing home thing. And I'm kind of doing exactly what I hated about media, is giving Ohtani more attention. And I feel like that's kind of misguided. I don't mean that, because I enjoy watching Ohtani, but I just don't like how the media asks every fucking time about him. But this is a moment that's more so making me pissed about the Yankees than praising Ohtani for stealing home, because it barely was stealing home. It was, I mean, who was it? Joely Rodriguez was on the mound. He throws, and I replayed this moment a few times over, and I was trying to find what went broken that made this happen. Joely Rodriguez delivered it pretty quickly to home. It wasn't on him. Gary Sanchez got the ball, looked like it was first and third. What did we confirm? I forget if it was 2 outs or
2 outs.
It was 2 outs. So 2 outs, that's okay to throw to second if you think you can get him. But the guy's running to second. I mean, he hesitated. So at that point, when you hesitate to throw to second, I'm no professional catcher, but I have eyes. If he's already running and you hesitate a lot, he hesitated, he double pumped, and then he threw. And Ohtani he wasn't stealing home. That wasn't his plan. He ended up going because he's like, damn, this idiot actually threw to second. I'm going to go home. And Ohtani's a fast person, so he barely made it, but that just shows you he's a fast person, barely made it because he wasn't actually stealing home. And then bad throw, Gio gets it, realizes he's throwing home, throws it back home, hurts himself on the play, bad throw back home, just bad play all around. It looked like a Little League play gone wrong. I almost would have preferred them to do that Little League play that you always keep in your back pocket. That was the one where the catcher comes
The
out.
shortstop cuts it
The
off.
catcher comes out like right before home plate. He like does the most obvious thing. He'll just like touch the top of his head and like no indicators, nothing. He'll be like, we're doing the play. The one the one that everybody has prepared at every practice. And everybody knows what I'm talking about. When the shortstop or who, depending on who's receiving the ball at second base, the second baseman will go and hold the base down, and then the shortstop will cut it off and throw it home real quick. That seemed like kind of what happened, but like not even a little bit. Like Gio took one step in front because it was just a bad throw.
I think Gio reacted to.
Yeah, they weren't doing that play.
Yeah,
Dude, if Gio didn't
reacted
react,
to
it wouldn't have even
Sanchez.
been close.
Yeah, but Gio was reacting to Sanchez just throwing the ball like randomly at second base. He was like, what the
even
fuck's that
Gio
doing?
was like, what is this guy's fucking problem? Like, Gary
Yeah.
Sanchez has the IQ of a fucking cucumber. The baseball IQ, that is. I don't know how he is book smart, but as far as on a baseball diamond, like, I would trust an actual just like log over Gary Sanchez catching. At least it can keep it in front of itself. I don't know.
Agreed. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that play to you guys' attention because I just thought,
pay attention. Just pay attention. Like, we're not asking much. Everybody's giving Gary Sanchez a pass this year because the team's been up and down, and there's been other headlines. Like, when the Yankees are cruising and Gary Sanchez sucks, then there's obviously something to write about. He's been given a pass for another fucking terrible year, and you still manage to make a play like that to make people talk about you. Just pay attention. That is basic just awareness. Baseball awareness, 101.
is that
Sorry.
enough to put him on the sun? No, right?
Yes, he should be on the
No.
sun. He should have been on the sun coming into the
Well,
season.
we're not doing
He's
the
hitting
sun right now.
210.
We're talking about the sun next
You
episode.
can
So
make your
we haven't-
case next episode.
we actually
We
forgot
haven't
about
done
it.
it.
Well, no, there
Exactly,
was no movement last week. So
We didn't even update. I think there could be a ruling for it today. But
what's the current status or the current occupation of the sun?
Krisky, who just got recalled, Nelson, Britton.
Heaney is the mayor.
Heaney, Britton.
Britton.
I think that's
Oh,
all.
And Britton got hurt.
Tough for
He's out the
Britton,
season.
honestly, because he's not gonna have we were talking about his leash being small. Now he's not even gonna have a chance.
Nah, now he's done that something forever.
See, that's
Okay.
you hate to see that happen. That's the inverse of what happened with Luis Sessa. Like Luis Sessa was able to get off the sun before leaving the team, so he left on good terms. Like Britton's not going to have that opportunity. So you just hate to see that happen. But we have to be the gatekeepers, and we have to. We can't.
We don't make the rules.
Why don't we don't make the rules? We
the
just
rules.
implement them, and we have to be enforcing his stay on the Sun. And he's just
can't be biased in the Sun. The bias has no. You know,
it's tough
Dare
because I do have
say-
his bobblehead, and I do like him. Granted, it is the bobblehead when he was good on the Orioles, but
Dare I say that the Reds traded for Sessa because he came off the Sun?
they heard
maybe
us.
they're listening.
I mean, say there's rumors flying. That's all I'm saying. But if
People are talking.
Gary
Just the
Sanchez
messenger.
in his last 30 games has a 181 batting average and an OPS slightly over 600, and he plays defense like a little leaguer that's below average. So
I'm not gonna get in on the Gary talk right now because
I'm not here to talk about Gary. I'm here for the Sun. That's it. I'm doing my job trying to keep the Sun a good place
I say
that
no.
has the people it deserves. I say yes.
No. I say no. Well, you have to have unanimous. So for now, he's not on
Why?
the Sun. If he does another blunder like that, but a little bit more egregious, then yes, you can go to the
If
Sun.
I gave you a blind resume and there wasn't a name attached to it, you would have put him on the Sun.
Disagree. I guess we'll never know because you didn't. And now my guard's up. So if you give me a blind resume, I'd be like, that's Gary Sanchez. And he's not going on the Sun yet.
Lucky for you, there's like 4 or 5 Yankee hitters that have similar stats.
So good segue into this. Are we officially getting worried about Gallo? Because since he has become a Yankee, this is a pretty decent enough sample size. Chandler, do you have his stats?
I did. You didn't tell me.
I
to
have
keep
them right
up,
here.
but I can have them.
Since he has become a Yankee, he has played 31 games, and he's batting 139, 634 OPS, 77 OPS plus, 5 homers, 11 RBIs, striking out 50% of the time. We knew the strikeouts were going to be high. The batting average is 139, but it's 31 games, so like that can come up. We knew it was going to be low. We didn't think it would be this low. I mean, he's a career 207 hitter, so like it's really not as low as you think. It's 139. He's got a 634 OPS, which
This is on base.
isn't horrific. 77 OPS plus. He's not. I asked the question, and now that I look more at these stats, I'm not worried. I mean,
It's just the batting average.
To me, I think he's pressing. I really do. The ground balls, he's hitting the 3 double plays as a Yankee coming into the Yankees. I think he had 8 in his career. I really do. I just think he's pressing. It's like like I said, and I'll say it until the day he's not a Yankee. It's like if one of us or one of you guys listening to it got a shot to play for the Yankees. Like it is his dream team. This is what he's wanted to do since he was a fucking kid. I'm not making excuses. He's been absolutely atrocious. It's disappointing to see him come out here and perform like that, but I don't think it's necessarily a slump as in there's something off with him, I guess. I don't think it's like a mechanical thing in that sense. I think it's more of he's pressing too hard to fill that role. As somebody who grew up as a Yankee, he knows what it means to wear those pinstripes. And I think he's taking it really hard, and he's just, like I said, he's pressing. Again, not making excuses. You got traded for fucking 5 top 20 prospects. You need to get out there and fucking figure it out. And you don't have that luxury when you're in a playoff race. Like, you need to get your shit together. But I get it just because, put yourself in those shoes. And that's easy for us because obviously we're diehard fans. We come here and talk about it twice a week. And people listen to it twice a week who are also, if you're listening to people talk about the Yankees, obviously you're a fan. Put yourself in those shoes. You can understand why he's pressing, but you're a major league player. Figure it out. That's where I stand on it.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I mean, I think the whole pressing part is probably true. And I don't know. I feel like yes, he has been his batting average is low, but he's still kind of doing everything else that we kind of signed him for. He's still playing great defense. He's still getting on base. He's had a couple clutch hits. He had a couple home runs. Like, I don't know. I feel like there hasn't been a ton of situations where he's, I don't know, let me down. I don't really know what the right wording is to say, but I personally haven't noticed it as much, just because I feel like he's been doing other things well. If that makes any sense at all. Like I feel like other players,
No, he's played good defense.
like yeah,
I know
he's
what you
like he's the only thing he's really not doing is getting a couple more base hits. And I mean,
He's walking a ton, too.
yeah, I mean he's still doing everything
He's
else.
got
And
25
I
walks.
still think he has a presence in the lineup too. Like I'm sure there's other non-direct factors that are having a big impact on the game. So, he's still Joey Gallo. You see that name in the lineup. It's still going to be frightening to pitchers. And if you got him batting fourth in between Aaron Judge and Stanton or Voit, and like that, there's some heavy hitters, and just having him in the lineup, having his name out there, being lefty bat, we're not taking him out anytime soon in the lineup, even if he's not playing well. He's still going to be a great fielder, and he's still going to go out there and play well. I'm not really worried about it. And again, hopefully he kind of like shakes the nerves off a little bit and gets into a rhythm, and then he gets on a hot streak when we need him.
All right, so moving on. Another person who has been struggling as of late, Jameson Taillon. In the month of July, he lit the world on fire. He had a 1.16 ERA in 31 innings pitched, a .97 WHIP, 25 Ks, 4-0. He had an awesome July. He won Player of the Month, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pitcher
of the month. To follow that up, since August has just completed, he had a 5.52 ERA in August. He gave up 19 earned runs, as I mentioned. I forgot to mention, all of July he gave up 4 runs. He gave up 19 in the month of August with a 1.23 WHIP and 33 strikeouts. So a little higher strikeouts. Same amount of walks, couple more home runs, but I mean 19 earned runs versus 4. That's a pretty big difference. Granted, Jameson Taillon's not going to keep up that pace that he was at winning pitcher of the month, but it is a little bit. I wanted to get a little bit of a temperature check on our boy Jameson Taillon, because we were very bullish on Taillon. Obviously, it's hard not to be coming off that month of July, but I wanted to get a little temperature check on how we feel about Jameson Taillon. And one more thing before we do that, I know we were talking a little bit about his home game versus away game splits. I think it was you that mentioned that, Damon. Or no, you were talking about the day game versus night game
that was
situation.
Garrett Cole's day game, night game.
Yeah.
That no
So
one cared
I'd be
about.
interested I still don't care about that, but I'd be interested to see if it's still holding up. But all right, then maybe I guess we haven't talked about this, because I mean Taillon's numbers home versus away is something that I wanted to bring up also. But before we get into that, just give me your feelings on Taillon right now.
I mean, I'm personally still confident in him, just because I feel like we've seen like consistent improvement. Let's think about it this way. Even if he's had up and downs, or good starts, good start, and then a bad start, and then a bad start, like he still had a progressive improvement throughout his career as Yankee so far this year. It's not like he's been going, had a good game and then kind of have a complete downfall. Like if you take a look back, take a big picture about his entire starts. I'm trying to think about like
he has had 2 complete downfalls in the last 2 starts. So.
Okay, but I'm saying big picture. Like let's take a step back. All right, let's take a step back. He's had 2 bad starts, but think about it as like a stock market thing. Like there's ups, downs. But if you take a step back,
thanks, Jordan.
It's a constant increase. That's what I was trying to say.
So
no, I'm not too worried.
You lost.
No,
me
I'm
stocks.
with you.
I think that made sense.
I think it made sense too, Tim. I know I'm on your side, because if somebody told you at the beginning of the year that he would not miss a start, and here we are in August, he won pitcher of the month in July, and he was pitching okay, and he's pitched somewhere between the 2 and the 4 spot in our rotation. If somebody told you that in February, would you have taken it without any of the peripheral numbers, anything like that? Jameson Taillon is healthy. He's not on an innings limit, and he's pitching every 5th day. He's been one of our most reliable arms. He's won pitcher of the month once, and he's just doing well. Do you take that in February? Absolutely.
I mean, yeah,
you
but
do.
I get that, but I don't think that's the right way to look at it because.
Well, no. Why are you arguing? I'm on your side, damn it.
Yeah, Damon. This is just he's friendly.
Damn it! I'm
fire.
literally. You back down.
No,
Okay.
I'm
on your
yes,
team.
we're on
I
the same
don't
way.
know
I'm
why
just
you're
saying-
arguing with me.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying
just
I
wants to
don't.
argue.
I don't think that's the right way to look at it because.
What do you mean? I'm literally agreeing with you
Hop
that
off the
overall the
Alright,
season's
Jump
been a
on my
net
team now.
positive.
You're on my team now.
No,
I-
I'm just
He
saying.
literally doesn't want you to agree with him.
Dude, I know. That's what I said. What
You're
the
not
fuck are
letting
you
me
talking
finish.
about?
I-
Well, you didn't let me finish.
Okay, go for it. Go.
Okay, I was saying to agree with Damon, which you wouldn't know, but I was saying overall it's been a net positive. Like at the beginning of the year, the whole conversation centered around, well, I mean, Corey Kluber and Tyone probably aren't going to make it through a season. They're going to miss time. Hopefully, between the two of them, they can put together one full season. Well, Tyone's been a fucking bulldog. He's out there every fifth day, and he looks good. And I think that part of it is rust at the beginning of the year. Part of it's still learning to pitch again and learning to be on that schedule. So it's been 2 years. I get that there's going to be rough patches, and I think everybody does. And if you don't, then you're just being an asshole because that's unrealistic. Like, there's going to be rough patches. Get over it. He's
Tyone's
still a damn good pitcher, and his stuff is still good. Yeah, there's, like I said, you're going to have patches throughout a season when you haven't pitched at that level in 2 years that just aren't good. He's still trying to figure it out and get into, how do I face a team a second time? How do I face a team a third time and go about this lineup differently?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're at now. And he's getting to that part of the season. And yeah, he gets hit. But I don't know. Overall, I'm with Damon. It's a net positive. He looks good. I still trust him come October. He's not going to lose a rotation spot or anything.
That was what I was
Still have
trying
minute
to get
two?
at. I was trying to get because what I was trying to say was that like, yes, I agree with what you're saying, and then like, but you're taking a look at okay, yes, if we said in February he was going to be our potential number 2 starter and had like a historic whatever 1 month where he was the best pitcher in the MLB. Yes, I'm happy. Of course, I would have taken that in a heartbeat, and of course, he's blown away our expectations so far, which is great, right? You know that's all nice and it's good to talk about, but what we're really talking about now is if we trust him in the playoffs and where he's going to be in the playoffs.
Playoffs.
Talking about playoffs. So that's all I was trying to say was that yes, it's a great storyline. I love the fact that he's been doing well enough to get here to where he is right now, but the real question is do we feel confident with him in a 2 spot or a 3 spot right now? I still say yes until he has another bad game, and hopefully he doesn't. But if he does, then maybe we got.
So Chandler, you
I have him at
said
3.
3. Are you putting Kluber at 2?
No, I put Montgomery. I think it's at this point of the season. How do you not, dude?
Curveball.
Montgomery has,
Emphasis on curveball.
Politely.
Monty has a nice curveball.
little
Dude.
sixer curveball.
to put it mildly,
Oh,
he has
brother.
slapped his nuts directly on everybody he's faced forehead this season. He's done a damn good job just because he doesn't have run support. Like, I trust Montgomery in a playoff situation because you know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
Like,
I would love
if
to see.
Montgomery comes out there, are you ever not confident that he's going to give you 6 innings of 2 to 3 run baseball and you're just going to be sweating the whole time? Yeah, I know he's going to have people get on base. I know he's going to walk people. But
He's
if
been
I had
consistent.
one guy not named Garrett Cole that I'm trusting to get me just a quality start, I mean, I think Tyone has the higher ceiling, but I think Montgomery has the higher floor. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for-
And in the
yeah.
playoffs, that's a huge thing in game 2.
Yep, I agree with that because he's not as streaky as Tyone and Kluber's. We don't know what we're gonna get out of him. We'll see after his next start, but yeah, you're right. Like we have a better indication of what we're gonna get, and it's easier to plan when we're trying to win a big playoff game.
Jordan Montgomery this year, his WAR. Also, before I get to the WAR, his numbers are great this year. He has a 3.52 ERA, 3.2 WAR, 130 innings pitched. Also, great for him to even have 130 innings pitched because he's also one of those guys who are coming off injury. So 130 innings pitched is
He's not.
awesome. Well, recently, like we're worried about his health because he hadn't pitched.
He had
for
Tommy John in 2018.
last year was his first year back, and he barely pitched because
Yeah,
it was
'cause it was
a
his
shortened
first
season.
year
So
back off Tommy John in 2018.
That's so. What are we talking? I'm talking about. But this year is basically an extension of his debut back off Tommy John because last year was barely anything. So I'm still Are you saying you completely forgot about injury for him? He's completely not. It's not a worry for you.
No.
Disagree. So his WAR 3.2 is right there with Ohtani pitching, a pitching WAR. So like that's pretty cool to see. He's tied for 22nd in the MLB, in the AL pitchers, not AL in the entire league. So he's having a very nice year, and honestly, he gets kind of forgotten when you think about this Yankees team, even for me, who's a person who talks about the Yankees every day. And when you brought up his name, when you brought up that Tyone got moved to the 3, I immediately thought Kluber, because maybe you're more bullish on what you saw at him, and that could be the case too. I would be. There is an argument to be made that Kluber still can fight his way into the 2. I don't think that is the case now. We have to see a lot more of Kluber, but Montgomery has been that guy who has been here. He has been pitching all year, and he's been a very consistent person. Honestly, we talk about, trust tree of pitchers and who we're confident in. We're giving Nestor Cortez a lot of praise. Nobody really talks about Montgomery because I feel like it's weird. I don't even know what to do
It's
about him.
ugly.
It's the run support.
It's because
It's ugly, and I wanted to say, like, some people you don't give them as much praise because you expect it out of them. I don't expect it. I don't expect it out of him as like it's not expected. So it's weird to me that he's not getting praise.
How many wins does he have? Like 2?
Well, yeah,
5.
I
He's
think
5
maybe
and 5.
maybe it is the run support because it's 5 and 5.
Because most games he's pitching, sure, he has a great game, but we're probably losing those games because we don't score.
Exactly. Nobody remembers the game that
Yeah.
he throws where he gives up 2 runs or 3 runs even in 6 innings
Nobody
pitched.
remembers the games that we lose.
It's a quality
and-
start, but we're losing 3-2 and we're scoring 2 runs in the
Yeah,
8th
and
on
no
an
one
Aaron
gives a
Judge
shit.
home run. Nobody fucking cares. Jordan Montgomery, it's just because, and I hate to say it because I like Montgomery. I've liked him since he's been called up. He's just not really like, it's ugly. It's a battle every time he's out there, but he gets it done. He's an efficient pitcher. He is exactly pinpoint. If there was ever a guy to live up to his scouting report, it's Jordan Montgomery. If you remember when he got called up, it was like, yeah, on this Yankees team, which was good at pitching at the time, and like it is every year before injuries inevitably take everybody, he's like, yeah, he's good. He's going to be a 3, 4, 5 starter somewhere. Back rotation arm who's going to give you innings, and he's going to give you a couple runs, and he's going to be solid but not amazing. That is exactly what he is. He hit it to a fucking T, and he's done it his whole career. I trust him in the playoffs. Last year against the Rays, he literally was that picture of the dude carrying his nuts in a wheelbarrow. I think he went like 6 innings, gave up no runs, and struck out like 9. I don't know.
Was it
I
6?
just think
I thought he went like way shorter. It felt like 7. Felt like 8.
I think he went 6,
I think he went
but
like 4. But it felt so much. It's a playoff
Either
game,
way.
so like that happens. But
no, but whatever the case may be, he's done it on the big stage. I trust him. I really do. And I think he's going to be a part of this rotation for a long time, even if it's as the 5 starter. I don't think he's going to be a Hall of Famer or anything, but I mean, I think he's a damn good.
Such
He's,
a big leap.
no. I'm just saying that as like
he went
it's
4. He went 4 in the LDS.
I told you.
You said
so,
6.
so
It felt
either
like,
way,
it felt like 9. It felt
I
like an
know.
entire life's worth.
but he looked
pitching.
really good. That's what I'm saying. Is that, and obviously
so
he's not going to be a
nervous
Hall of
during that.
Famer. I'm saying that was an elimination game too, if I'm not mistaken. But that was to get us to Game 5 against the Rays, right? With Cole, and then Cole just pitched his dick off, and then Chapman blew it. But
That
whatever the case may
was-
be, it was Game 4.
might have been.
It was,
I
but
can't check. Sorry.
I don't know. Whatever. The whole point of it is Montgomery's been awesome. He's exactly what you want. I trust Montgomery. I do. He would be my number 2 if the playoffs started tomorrow, and then I'd have Tyone at 3, and then some combination of Kluber, Nestor, whatever at 4.
I'm convinced. I just don't see why not. Like, he's been great until
And
proven
obviously,
otherwise.
he's not a Hall of Famer. I'm just saying that as
Why do you
I
keep
don't.
talking about that?
Because you guys-
nobody's saying that.
You guys made a huge deal out of it. I'm just using that as a figure of
What, we
speech.
just
Like,
laughed because you said it. You said Jordan Montgomery and Hall of Famer in the same sentence.
I say he's not one. I'm just saying
Yeah,
he's not
when
incredible, but
somebody
he's solid.
isn't even remotely close, you don't need to bring up that he's not. Like, that's like
You've
me
never
saying-
heard that before?
It's like me
Like-
saying that, you know,
No, we can say it, but like in like
Chris Davis is not a Hall of Famer.
No,
Yeah.
that's not even remotely similar. It's
Okay.
like you have somebody like Brett Gardner who's like, yeah, he's not a Hall of Famer, but he's been good. Same thing with Montgomery. He's not
yeah,
a Hall
I
of
can't
Famer by any
get-
means, but he's
Okay.
good.
I just feel like it doesn't even need to be said because it's obvious.
Okay.
Whatever,
The
move
whole
on.
point was
You
that
could
he's
just
not a
say Jordan
superstar.
Montgomery. He's great.
I could have, if I had said
Fair.
Jordan Montgomery,
Nobody
he's
will
not
jump
a.
to the conclusion.
I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
That he's a Hall of Famer.
It's a figure of speech, dickhead.
I haven't heard that. I've heard the figure of speech be said on people who are borderline Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I gotta.
Then it wouldn't be a
agree.
figure of speech. It would be an actual conversation.
No, and he's no.
Like
I
Yadier
agree with what you're
Molina,
saying.
Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Yeah,
What the fuck did? Yeah, Derek Jeter, Hall of Famer. I can name Hall of Famers too. Like,
Honestly, I tried to think of one that was a borderline guy and I couldn't, so I just said that.
yeah, wrong. Move on. You know that it's a figure of speech.
Adrian Beltre, not a Hall of Famer, awesome.
no, he's a Hall
Adrian
of Famer.
Beltre is a
think?
Hall of Famer through and
I
through.
think that-
He
I
has-
thought that was-
1,000%.
I thought that was the most borderline one.
No,
no,
that I
he's
could
got
think of.
three. He's got over 3,000 hits and like
He's
400
gonna
home runs.
1,000% be a Hall
He's
of
gonna
Right.
probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Regardless, I think the figure of speech is not even close to being used on Jordan Montgomery. So
Mm.
Jordan Montgomery, not a Hall of Famer, but he's our number 2 star starting heading into this upcoming playoffs if we make it.
The inflection in your voice just ruined the whole thing.
So we need to get into a series though, because we are right now going to probably be playing in the wild card. I think, and I don't think that's unreal. That's like that's not a slight at this team. It's just like we said at the top of the show. The Rays are going to keep winning, even if we keep pace with them. I think at best we're not going to be 6.5 games better than them this month. It's just not going to happen.
I don't know.
I don't see us sweeping them.
I don't know.
in the final series.
I don't think we're going to see them either, but
If we swept
optimistic.
them-
I'm optimistic because of who we're facing in the upcoming, like this month. We're facing the Orioles twice. Yes, we're playing the Blue Jays in between. We're playing the Rangers. We're playing the Indians. You know, those are very, very, very winnable, if not sweepable, series for us.
Things could look a lot different, but they're going to need to start losing also.
yes, the Rays
and
need to
they're
start
not.
losing,
They're not.
so-
going
They have
to.
a hard schedule though. They have their record against, or the opponent's record has like a 530 winning percentage, which I know isn't crazy, but
They're a
they-
fantastic baseball team.
Yes.
oh fuck you. I'm trying to be
They're
positive.
going to win. I know. I am too. I'm just mentally preparing myself for the wild card, and I love our chances because we have Garrett fucking Cole in the wild card.
Yeah, but against
and-
Chris Sale and
That I don't even care, to be honest, because that's
Evaldi
going to
and-
be so goddamn exciting.
I totally agree, but
low-key-
I'm just
I don't know if this is.
don't
this-
say you
I
want it.
get-
If
I
you
get-
say
no,
you
no,
want
you're
it,
not.
No,
I get it,
this
I
is
get it.
maybe this is foolish to say because I don't actually feel this way, but a big part of me loves the wild card, and I like
No.
being in it. It's
I
so
like winning the
nerve-wracking.
wild card.
Every pitch counts. And maybe that's me saying that because we've won every single time we've played in recent memory with the Twins and the Athletics, but a large part of me kind of wants it.
Here's
you
the
want to
thing.
know what it is? It's like putting your entire bankroll on black on roulette.
And
It's super exciting.
It's so
It-
exciting, and I do that.
especially
often.
when you win, you're like, holy shit, we're fucking awesome. That is amazing. And then when you lose, you're like, oh my god, this fucking sucks. I should have never done that.
Here's
So-
the thing. If we end up playing the Red Sox at home in the wild card game,
I like our
that-
chances in that.
that's I'm getting
Okay.
at. That will be probably the most exciting game I'll ever go to.
Oh, we're going to
Am
that.
I-
Ooh, I will be there.
To date, that will be the most exciting game I'll
I
ever
agree.
go to. And,
Yankees, Red Sox, one game.
and I can't think of another game
Cole
more exciting than
Sale.
that until like a Game 7 going to a World Series or like Game 7. Like it has to, like the intensity of that game is gonna be like a Game 7 of a championship series.
I'm gonna get so fucked up for that. Is that That
Wait,
has
are
to
you
be
still
outside my
gonna be-
75 hard. Yeah.
Dude, if you don't cheat for that,
It's
then
day
you're not a
19.
real Yankee. You're not a Yankees
We'll see
fan.
if it lines up for that. But
It's not going to line up for that. Do simple math.
Oh,
That's
it's not
1
gonna
month
line
from
up.
now. Dude, if you don't cheat on that, then don't even go. Like, you have to cheat on the 70. Do 74 and a half hard. And,
it wouldn't even be that. It'd be like 50s. But
well, you can go back on it after. But, dude, the
So,
only thing that
have
scares
you
me
now
is what are
changed
the
your mind?
implications?
No,
What
no,
is
I-
what are
no,
the
don't get me wrong.
no,
implications
not
if you
you.
lose?
You're on my team.
Oh.
What?
No, I'm just saying, yes, I think it would be amazing, but
I don't
that's
want the wild card, but I wouldn't be upset because of that reason.
I think it would be absolutely
ever
electric.
Yankees,
I don't know.
Red Sox wild card. Has that happened in recent memory?
Well,
It's
no,
probably
because
happened at
they've
some
only
point.
well, no, they've only had the 2-team
Wow.
wild card for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So if that. But my thing is, yeah, it's awesome. And if they win, we're all assuming they win. If they lose, you realize the season's over before we even
I
play.
get that.
We play
Yeah,
a series.
I know.
I know you get the ins and outs, but actually think about it.
Obviously,
Of course, we want to win the
It's
division.
over.
Of
Yes.
course, we want to win the division. The point being is
And
that
the Red Sox are no slouches.
oh my god,
That's
what I'm trying to say
obvious.
is obviously we want to win the division, but if we don't, then the next best thing is a Yankees Red Sox wild card game in the Bronx.
it's pretty decent
No.
consolation.
It's a
I
pretty
agree.
good consolation prize
Because
that will be
that
that will be one of the best days of my life if they win. And
Dude,
it'll
I
be the most
literally
exciting
told you
day of-
guys.
This guy is he just keeps going.
You're going too. I literally told you guys I would buy a one-way plane ticket on October 1st and leave if we make the wild card after that.
Chandler Drake, not a Hall of Famer, but he will come
I-
for the team and go to the wild card. game
I
with the boys.
obviously want to go to the wild card game, and I think it would be the coolest game I've ever been to. It scares me. Does it not scare you?
Of course, it
One-
scares me, but it's gonna be the most exciting game ever.
It scares me to a point where I don't care about being scared anymore. It scares me to a point where it just gets me excited.
Yeah.
Because I think what it is for me is I'm mentally preparing myself for it because it's really shaking up to be that. Obviously, that could change. We could be playing the Athletics again. Of the two, I don't think there's much of a discrepancy between the two. I think the Athletics and the Red Sox are probably very equally matched. Obviously, this is an obvious thing that I'm about to say. I'd rather face the Red Sox just because of that how fun it would be.
I think the pitching matchup, from just a pure like X's and O's, I'd rather play the A's because I don't want to play the combination of Sale and Evaldi or whatever.
But that's
Yeah,
not
the
what
Red
I mean.
Sox still scare the
But
shit out of me.
regardless of it's so close in competition level that I'd rather have the added entertainment value in the Yankees Red Sox for the wild card than just playing the Athletics again, even though yes, I guess I'd prefer X's and O's wise to face the Athletics, but the discrepancy between the two is not like you either play the Red Sox or you play the Twins, which we own like we have in the past. Like that would be different. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll pass on the Yankees Red Sox for this round to guarantee that we get into the next round. But I'm just really excited about that. So I think we should move on to rounding third if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
It's more than okay.
So rounding third, we have asked you guys to send us your rounding thirds, and we are going to buy or sell them here on the podcast. So first rounding third comes to us from Send It Sully, and he said Voit over Rizzo long term. And I know we talked about this a lot about Voit versus Rizzo in previous podcasts, but quick answer, Voit over Rizzo long term, what do we think? Because obviously Rizzo is a rental and his recent play hasn't necessarily knocked our socks off as compared to the initial run that he had, getting his Sex Panther nickname.
I'm saying Rizzo mostly because of injury stuff. Long term, I don't really. I have a lot of doubts with Voit being able to play for a long period of time. That's my short.
Chandler?
That's my short answer.
Short answer.
Rizzo, and it's only because the ages are pretty damn close. Rizzo's 32, Voigt's 30. Yeah, I just think that Rizzo's game transfers better over the long term. They're both hitting kind of that back end of your prime and heading downwards. I think Rizzo would the way his style of play would age better, and that's the only reason. Because right now, I think if it's do or die in a wild card now, and you had to start one, and you weren't going to play Stanton in the field, at this point, I think it's close. I really don't think it's a surefire Rizzo.
I don't know. That's a different conversation.
Well,
So-
no. That's what I'm using that to bolster my argument for the long term.
Because my
That's all.
conversation my decision would be different if it was a 1-game wild card and it was do or die. I'd put Voit out there.
You
I
would.
agree.
I would.
No, I'm on your side.
That's
Me and
interesting.
Damon are.
That's not what's gonna happen. So
I know, but I'm saying
no.
I would put Voit out there, do or die wild card game, but I would prefer Rizzo in the long run if I were talking
too.
about multiple years.
Agreed.
okay.
You disagree?
This just doesn't really make that much sense to me.
Why?
If you prefer
How?
a guy for one game,
Yes, it makes.
I
total
literally
sense.
But
just
you
told you
prefer the
why.
other
I
guy
think
for every
Rizzo's
other game?
game ages better.
his game ages better. He's
All right, I
less
can get
injury
behind
prone.
that.
That actually
more of
makes
a
a lot of
con-
sense.
Yeah, no,
job,
I
He's
Chandler.
more contact than just power, like Voit.
High
all right.
five.
So, still on that topic a little bit, coming to us from Ryan Mecca, he says, and shout out Ryan Mecca. This is
Shout out Ryan.
our guy who
love
won the
Ryan.
jersey for the Stakes app giveaway. So, Ryan Mecca said Luke Voit is way more disgruntled than we think, and it will eventually come out. And I'm gonna go ahead and spearhead this one because I think he's very outspoken about how disgruntled he is. I like the use of that word. And dismayed could be another use of the word, like DJ was back in the offseason.
He's got a gripe.
He's got a gripe. I don't have the gripe alert. I really need to put that on. Somebody has to remind me to put the gripe alert sound on the soundboard going into the next episode. But he's got a lot of gripes, and he's made it clear. So I don't think that this is really a buy or sell take. Like I think we just know that, and I think the fact that he's even saying things to the public, yes, I think that means he's even more pissed. Like I think when he goes home after that like question he answers from Marley Rivera or something, and he goes home to his wife and he's like, those motherfuckers really got Rizzo after I was top 10 in MVP. I led league in home runs. Like, yeah, I think he's a lot more pissed than he is to the cameras, which is saying a lot because he's pissed to the cameras. So,
Yeah.
which is the case with anybody. You're obviously going to dial it down a little bit more in front of the cameras. So, you know, what he's like, you see what he's not saying. Like he's very upset. So I think that's
Especially because
an obvious thing.
Especially because he continues
totally
to play
fair.
better than
Yeah.
Rizzo every single
and
day.
he continues to get benched.
Like he has not had one game where he played worse than him.
Yeah.
Since he became a Yankee.
Yeah. So I think that's obvious. So next coming to us from Alejandro 2ND. This is actually right up Chandler's alley with what he just said. So Montgomery should be starting the second starter in the playoffs over JMO. So we talked
Agreed.
about that at length, but that is a great take by Alejandro. And yeah, I mean, we talked about that at length. I didn't even see this before we had that conversation. That
Yeah,
conversation we had was not on the plans for today. So kudos to you and kudos to Alejandro. So I think we're all in agreement there. I think Chandler has
He's
sold
convinced
us,
us,
and
yeah.
Alejandro has also sold us as well. So
That might be the first thing you guys have ever been fully convinced of something I said. That makes me feel good about myself.
next one comes to us from Aim Bims. Good name. It says Stanton finishes strong, top 10 in AL MVP.
No.
Nope.
I'm going to disagree there too, across the board, but I do think he finishes strong. I don't think that's enough to put him in AL MVP. I mean,
I just
he
don't
Not a Hall of
started-
Famer.
He's not a Hall of Famer, but he's going
He
to have
is a Hall of
good
Famer
second
though.
half.
But
I don't
fuck
think
you.
he's a Hall of Famer.
Stanton?
That's a conversation for another day. But
Oh
I just
my
think
God.
since he hasn't
No
played
shot.
the field until now, and even now he barely plays the field, like I don't think that's enough to be top 10. Like DHs don't even remotely come close to that unless your name is Nelson Cruz, who's tears the cover off the ball every year and only gets better. So I don't think he can be top 10 AL MVP. I'd like to take a look at like who's like a list of the AL players, because I know there are a lot of people having great years that people don't really talk about. Like Jose Ramirez is having an unbelievable year again, and there are a lot of people having great years. So I don't think top 10, but I do think he finishes strong.
Damon, you realize he's going to have 500 home runs, right? And probably end his career at like 265 with 500 home runs and an MVP.
That's so debatable.
No, it's not. He's got 10 more years, and he's at 340
If
almost.
he can fucking play 10 more years.
Hey,
Put
he's
him in
been
the
playing.
Dude, he's... Oh, my...
We'll save that. We'll save that. Let's address that in the offseason.
You don't think he can hit 150 home runs in 10 years?
I do think he can. Next question comes to us from Mikey MK6. He said, if Andrew Heaney is allowed to throw one more pitch, we will miss the playoffs. I'm buying this all the way to, all the way to the sun.
Yep.
If Andrew Heaney throws one more pitch, I think we miss the playoffs. I agree.
No, I'm going to buy it. Fuck that guy.
Do we think he's going to throw one more pitch?
I think he will, but I really
hope he doesn't. Like, why?
He shouldn't.
What I've never seen, we talk about leashes a lot on this show. What more does he have to do to not go out there? Because I genuinely think what he's been doing for this team, we mentioned this a lot too, like what we would do if we were out there, I could give up home runs too in the very first pitch to Ohtani. Like I could throw to Ohtani. Am I going to strike him out? No. But like he's doing basically what we can do and he's still getting run. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really think he's gonna pitch again too, and that's the part that pisses me off. Like, why? Why is Luis Gil not up?
I don't think I've ever watched a pitcher pitch at the major league level that I've been confident that I can hit, and I haven't swung a bat in 6 years. And I'm pretty confident that if you gave me a bat and we're like, all right, you have to go face a major league pitcher, and be like, oh fuck, they'd be like, no, it's Andrew Heaney. I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, I'm hitting 400. Like,
yeah, and I remember in the group chat when somebody announced to us in the group chat that we got Andrew Heaney, and I initially was like, that's a good move because it's a good depth piece, and it sounded like a good depth piece, but boy was I wrong. So take it.
Dude, I almost
opposite
drove to New York from Florida when you said that.
We didn't know we didn't know this guy would be this. He was a he's an average to very below average pitcher with the Angels, and I thought we were just getting a guy who could take us from point A to point B until Kluber and Sevy get back, and he did. He's taking us from point A to point B. Is it pretty along the way? Absolutely not. And is he continuing to get run? Yeah, he is. So agreed with Mikey on this one. Andrew Heaney is never going to come off the sun, and I'm willing to bet my life on that. So next one comes to us from Danny Massaroni. He said Starlin Marte would have been a better trade than Joey Gallo.
I mean, yeah.
It's obvious. And I was saying that way before too, like months ago. Starlin Marte's awesome, and there's nothing you can do about that. But yes, he would have fit nicer with this team, and he's just the only thing he wasn't a lefty. Apparently the price was too high though, so they gave up Luzardo. They may regret that later on because if they miss the playoffs right now, I mean that's looking like a bad deal for them right now too because they're currently not in the playoff picture. So if they gave up Luzardo for a rental in Starlin Marte, that's a pretty fucking bad deal. He hit 500 for the time being when he was with the Athletics, but if it's not enough to get you to the playoffs, why did you buy? So
you just gave away one of your best pitchers.
Yeah. So that could bite them in the ass hard. So granted, I think it would be different for us because we would have him for the playoffs because I think we would have made the playoffs. But still,
if you lose, it's not worth it.
Agreed. So next one comes to us from Nick J. Farr, and he said, we will finish the year with 95 plus wins.
How many wins do we have right now?
77.
95 plus? I don't know. I think we're going to have like 92.
We're on pace for 94, and that is not counting the schedule.
I'm going to take the over.
I'm going to take the over too because we're on pace for 94, but we also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against the Orioles.
Where are you getting the on pace from?
Our winning percentage times 162.
You're a fucking whiz.
Wow.
I know. So
good job.
We have Baltimore for 6. We have Texas for 3. Really we have Cleveland for 3. We have the Mets for 3. We have Minnesota for 1.
Do you
I'll
think
take the over.
Do you think
I'm
there's a
gonna take the
chance?
over.
Do you think there's any chance? What percent chance would you put it at us cracking 100 wins?
100.
That's 5 more.
So what? We'd have to win 23 games out of the last
23 games in a month. It's not impossible.
That's damn near impossible.
It's
I forgot how little time was left in the season.
So we'd have to go 23-7.
yeah.
It could happen.
It could happen.
That's what we did last month, basically. What was
I
our
would
last
put
month?
you asked for the percentage. I say 10% that we break up.
I like those odds. I'd lay that juice.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance.
I mean, with the strength of schedule from here on out, it's definitely not impossible.
well, factor in there we still have 7 games against the Blue Jays, and then we also have our series against the Rays and 2 against the Red Sox.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think we have more than 7 losses built in there. So
And that's given we sweep all the other bad
could happen. Though.
teams.
It could
Yeah.
absolutely happen, though.
Not if
And-
Heaney starts.
I think we will end it on this one. Garrett Cole memes says Jay Bruce is an overhated Yankee. I'm going to go ahead and put that to rest because he's not overhated. He's properly hated and because he sucked. But Andrew Heaney is the version of Jay Bruce that pitches. So
Jay Bruce is not overhated. Jay Bruce is properly hated.
thank you for echoing what I said.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else we want to talk about before we sign off and go to bed?
Did you want to play the voicemail?
Oh yeah, we do have a voicemail. So appreciate the caller here. I forget who this was. We'll check
It's
in a
Ryan. My
second.
boy Ryan.
Oh, it
again.
is Ryan. So appreciate the call. The number to call in. We haven't looked for voicemails in a while, so we only have one this time. So we appreciate him taking the initiative to call the voicemail line. And the number is 914-469-2168. Call in and we will play your voicemail on the podcast and we'll react to it. So let's do a voicemail episode on Tuesday. Episode 161.
All right.
Voicemail. Give us a little bit of a celebratory, like, hey, congrats on episode 161.
Real quick before that, you guys want to know some awesome news?
Sure.
Gleyber Torres removed from his final rehab game after being hit by a pitch.
No,
Awesome.
he's fine. I saw the report.
Damon wrote the report.
I read
you
the report
sure?
already. He was hit by a pitch, but then he said it was fine afterwards. They just took him out for precaution.
See? Damon said it. So,
All right.
so shut
I'll
up.
believe you. I can't wait till
I
find out
could be
tomorrow that
wrong.
he
Island.
There's
shattered
always
his
a
hand.
chance that I am wrong, but let's just say
I'd
it.
say more often than not. We talked about laying the juice on the 10% chance that we would eclipse 100 wins. I don't think I would wait. I don't think I would lay the juice
I'll
on
find the
Darren
report
being
for you,
right.
Chandler. I'll find the report for you.
Please do.
Why it's
I'm
playing.
scared.
Repeat caller, called in a couple of weeks ago, and I actually just won a jersey last week on the Stakes app. So thank you, Damon. It was just delivered a couple of days ago. Very cool.
Nice.
Anyway, just kind of wanted to vent a little bit about
Please
this
do.
season. I know it's a long season, ebbs and flows, ups and downs, that whole thing. But I hate in the beginning of the year when people say that the games don't matter as much in April and May, because they absolutely do. They all count the same in the standings, and it's frustrating seeing the Rays, who have lost, I think, one game to the Orioles, where we're barely above 500 against them, and that right there is could be the difference in the standings, and it's frustrating seeing the team and the brand of baseball we've been playing lately for the most part, and the fact that we haven't absolutely demolished these teams that are just terrible baseball teams this year. There's no reason we should be barely above 500 against the Orioles. Frustrating, that's all. Still some time for us to get it together here, but we need help from the Rays at this point, and a little bit frustrating. If we beat the Orioles enough, we might not need the help. So that's all. Look forward to hearing the show. Keep it up, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate the call, Ryan. And I mean, I agree with everything you said. And we kind of talked about this all season long, is like, hopefully that we didn't dig ourselves in too deep of a hole. Like, there were so many points where we didn't think this team was going to make the playoffs. I think the majority of the length of the season, it was kind of getting that vibe from like a month in to about a month ago. Like we thought this team was missing the playoffs, and that was kind of the reality of the situation. And then we snap off a 13-game win streak, and all is kind of forgotten a little bit. Now we're talking about potentially what are the odds of hitting 100 wins, which we thought was if you told me that a couple months ago, that's fucking impossible. So yeah, not taking care of business against the teams that we should. Like a 500 record against the Orioles is just inexcusable. We should win every single game against that team. This is quite literally one of the worst teams to ever play baseball. They literally lost, how many was it in a row? 19?
A lot.
20? 30?
18.
It might as well have been all of it.
I think
mean,
they
the
had 18.
Orioles are not Hall of Famers, but they're really bad at baseball.
You're being
So-
a major cock about that.
So, but I mean, I agree. I mean, we should have taken care of business. And look at this. Look at this right now. If we took care of business against the Orioles alone, just the Orioles, if we won those games or the majority of them more than we have before, we're probably tied with the Rays right now. So there you go. Every game absolutely does matter, and that's the evidence right there. So
That's been the story of the season. You know, it's like how long was it until we fucking beat the Red Sox? Like they were
We
whipping
were
our asses.
0-9 or 0-7.
Like that's another thing. Now you know, but that's the story of the season so far. It's been getting our asses handed to us by a division, and then like having a historic second half. And, you know,
I'm glad we're here to talk about it.
We wouldn't
in
be
the
able to
past.
have a historic second half if we were good in the first half. You know what I mean? So, whatever. I mean, obviously it sucks, and
What?
you know, like if we didn't, if we had a
Did
good,
you follow what he just said?
if we had a good first half, we wouldn't need to have a historic second half.
That's not what you said.
Yeah, what did I say?
You said if we had a good first half, we wouldn't have had a good second half.
What I meant to say, if I did, I don't know if I did say that, but if
I don't want you to mislead the listeners.
what I meant to say, disregard what I previously said, if that was incorrect. But what I meant to say was,
Don't listen to what he is saying. Listen,
if we had,
hear what he's not saying.
if we had a good first half, we wouldn't have needed to have a historic second half.
Okay, that I can get behind.
Needed to have.
Still could have had
Still
it.
could have had,
Okay.
but we didn't need to have.
Okay.
I have a quick gripe
Okay.
before we end it and wrap it up.
I also have
So-
labor news when we're done.
On our 13-game win streak, we led the major leagues in stolen bases. In our 4-game losing streak, did not steal a single base. Why?
Coincidence? I think,
I think
not.
not.
Oh,
Why, but like, why veer from what's working?
Because
We're the
who,
Yankees,
look
and
who's
we
not
like to piss off
playing
our fans
during that streak.
who's that?
All the base stealers. We had Tyler Wade. I mean, Velasquez has been getting a little
I
more
mean, they
playing
both
time. Greg
played.
Allen, the other fast guy, whatever.
The only guy who isn't playing is
Greg Allen was
he
not
hasn't-
on
he
there
hasn't
for
been
any
playing.
game
Tomato,
of the
tomato.
13-game win streak. Judge was
You need to
stealing
go to
bases.
bed. This guy, you're good, Chandler. He's just in a different world right now.
Anyway,
Yeah,
The
Gleyber-
new
Greg
couch-
Allen hasn't played since
yeah,
like July.
I don't know what team he's watching. Like, we got a new couch here, and I think he's a little
It
too
is-
comfortable
it
that
is
he's
pretty
starting to
comfortable.
fall asleep.
I'm just exhausted. I got up really early today.
He got up really early to go surfing,
I got up at
And then-
4:30,
and then he didn't go surfing because the subways were flooded.
so I turned around and tried to go back home. Anyway, Gleyber Torres is okay after being hit by a pitch. Manager Doug Davis said,
Doug
no
Dimmadome.
issues, no problem, good to go health-wise.
How many
Don't
times
fuck
have we
me
heard
here,
that?
Doug.
How many times have we heard that?
What?
Oh, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, but it's not Aaron Boone. It's a different manager.
Doug Dimmadome. I trust Doug Dimmadome.
General rule of thumb: I don't trust anybody named Doug.
I disagree.
So-
I know a few good Doug. No, I don't.
I don't know. I don't know one single Doug.
As I was saying that, I was trying to think back. I think I know one Doug, and he was. I have multiple gripes with him.
Okay, there you go. So Glaber's fucked. That's the thing.
He was one of those guys who would wear a drawstring backpack to a party in college.
That's sick.
Not a guy you want to be.
I bet that guy got laid all the time.
Don't be like Doug. Don't be like Doug. All right, that's enough from us. We appreciate you guys listening. If you guys made it to the end here, our Doug Dimmadome and Doug conversations. If you enjoyed this, leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Really appreciate that. Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube if you want to see the YouTube version, the full video version. We do those live the night before, so you get early access to that. Just check out the Bronx Pinstripes YouTube, and yeah, Go Yankees. Let's
See ya for 161.
episode 161. And if you have any ideas that we should do for episode 161, it's quickly approaching, and we have done no plans to figure out anything to
You
do
should eat a
special about
baseball.
that. So maybe I will just straight up eat a baseball next time. I've been talking about it for a while, so maybe I'll do it. So appreciate you guys sending the voicemails for episode 161. We would love to do just a full-blown voicemail episode. Maybe we'll do a Megalodon episode, like 200.
A
1,000.
megalodon like the shark.
Yeah, like 200-minute episode.
A
Something like-
161-minute episode. Whoa.
No,